Hello and good evening, beautiful souls. Thanks for joining in for this transmission for the full moon in Capricorn, which also happens to align with the summer solstice. Taking place this Friday, I don't know the exact time, but I'm sure you can already start to feel it. Summer solstice is my favorite time of year. And I think for a lot of people, they might agree to that because it is this potent period where we can really feel the aliveness of the season. It's like the peak season of the year of growth and prosperity and enjoyment and playfulness. And the medicine wheel, it represents the time of adolescence. Maybe that point in your life where you had a little bit more freedom and you were starting to develop an identity of who you were in the world and what was possible and what dreams could become a reality. So I invite you to really start to ask yourself some of those questions, like what dreams have you lost through your adult life? Is there any part of you that still feels really connected with that and wants to fulfill that? Is there any part of you that feels unsatisfied by your life path? As I'm speaking, I'm just receiving this focus on our Dharma, this focus on why we're here. Are we in right relationship with our life? Are we in right relationship with our purpose, with our mission? So as the energy is already starting to come in, I'm beginning to merge with some of the information that's arriving through this portal. I'm just tuning in and calling forth the highest frequencies of light and truth, asking for the codes that unlock the wisdom that's held within this time period, and to deliver messages that may help us to interpret the signs and synchronicities that are coming through, to help us align ourselves with our highest destiny, and to bring forth any messages and insights that will help us to make the most of this time. And with full thanks, so be it. If you're a regular subscriber, I would love if you would like these videos so that it will help the algorithms. If you're new, stick around, hit that subscribe button, notification link. And let's get started with the theme of this reading. I'm pulling from the Jade Oracle deck, which is a Mayan deck. And our leading card here is the Noble Flower. It says, the Noble Flower is the patron of flowers, dancing, singing, feasting, painting, and game playing. The statue of the Noble Flower is housed in the Museum of Anthropology in Mexico City. It's covered with flowers from psychotropic plants associated with the Niños Santos, or what we might know of as the magic mushrooms. And this being is said to be in trance. The Noble Flower is said to be in trance. When he appears, you are reminded to immerse yourself in beauty and the grand mystery of the cosmos. Leave the material world behind and connect with the multidimensional universe within you. Consider leaving the world behind for a bit and connecting with the divine. So like my heart, I just feel so much joy and so much playfulness, lightness coming through for this solstice and this new moon or full moon. The full moon's always this culmination point, a completion point, and can really start to illuminate the parts of us that have been repressed, suppressed. With it being in Capricorn, Capricorn is like really down on the ground. It's an earth sign, and it's very pragmatic. It tends to be related to finances and cooperation and navigating daily resources. And yet here we have the fullness of the summer. We have the time when the light is at its longest. It's the longest day of the year here in the Northern Hemisphere. So feeling this great potential during this alignment to reap the rewards of the seeds that were planted during this last new moon. And to also, if there's any other little tethers unwinding around things that you've been in process of for maybe a long time, but it's really come to the surface in the last few weeks or last couple of months even, that it's this is a generous point to be able to release that without a whole lot of resistance, to maybe even release through ritual of dancing and singing, working with these master plants. If any of you are familiar with me and my work, you know that there are some particular master plants that I appreciate deeply, the work that can be done with them to liberate us from our forgetfulness. And if you happen to be someone here in the Birmingham area, you should come join us for our cacao and sound ceremony on Friday, where we'll be working with the master plant of cacao and also working with sound and the elements of fire. So let's continue to follow. This is an interesting reading just because the way I'm being guided to draw the cards. It's a little unusual and not the way that I usually do things at all. So something special that's taking place in this reading. And feel free to drop some comments in about how you are doing right now. Like, can you feel the shifting into summer? Can you also feel the pull of the full moon? What I'm receiving at this moment is that there is this past life. It's a lot of past life work here. I've been picking up on this summer is a period of time where we're going to be asked to focus on clearing family karma. Any kind of tiffs you have with your family, any estrangement from your family, any unspoken words. This is the time to do it. This is the time to reach out to the person that you have kept at a arm's length distance. This is the time to pray for those that maybe have kicked you out of their life. But to really look at, is there resolve within your family? Is there anything that maybe is getting your attention right now as a pattern to be healed? And that there's, in this particular time frame with the solstice and the full moon, there's also an accumulation of past life karma or samskaras, patterns that we can go through this process of clearing and restoring the integrity of our energetic bodies to the point that those patterns don't exist in the field any longer. that there's a new way of doing it, and it simply comes from entering into the heart and accessing that place of full acceptance. And as we dive into the heart and we enter into the soul, into the place that's beyond all of our beliefs, all of our pain, all of our stories, all of our I am defamations, we can instantly align with a new timeline. We are new in every moment, and when we go straight to the soul, straight to love, and surrender and accept, everything can change in an instant. Meaning that you can be healed of all of that past life stuff that you have felt held back by. And you can use the laws of the universe, like the law of attraction, to bring yourself in to the reality where you are already healed, where there was nothing to heal, where you are on track with your highest destiny. There's a lot of reworking in our relationships. That is the pathway that all of this is taking to be transformed. It's in your relationships. Your relationship with yourself, with your soul, is at the center of the reading with this Mary Magdalene deck. It says, I have not bound anything. I am free, the soul. Deep breath. Even in the midst of the worst that can unfold for us, the soul whispers, I am free. It seems so strange that something so infinitely powerful could be accessible, visceral even, right here in the body. It seems so strange that something so otherworldly could be reached with an act that seems so entirely commonplace and mundane. Deep breath. With the intention, the consciousness of a single deep breath, we can detach from the ego and all its 7 powers. With one intentional deep breath, we can return to the heart, to the vast expanse of what's possible, to the limitless realm of the soul. In Mary's Gospel, the soul explains, I have been bound, but I have not bound anything. The soul has been bound by the 7 powers of the ego, but the soul does not bind anything or anyone in return. The soul, the essence of who you are, will be judged throughout your lifetime by both our own ego and the egoic powers of others, even our loved ones. The soul will be judged and bound, but the soul doesn't judge or bind others in retaliation. The soul is free, and it knows it. The soul says, about the 7 egoic powers, they did not recognize me, but I have recognized that the universe is to be dissolved, both things of this earth and those of heaven. The ego can't see or recognize the soul, but the soul can see through all dualities. All of those opposites that rule the ego, like day and night, light and dark, heaven and earth, the soul embraces as a unified whole. The soul is not bound to the egoic desires of what being here on earth might bring, nor is it bound to the egoic desires of what heaven might contain. The soul is content to simply be here now. The soul releases both heaven and earth to exist nowhere else but in the present moment. Deep breath. Even in the midst of the worst that can unfold for us, the soul whispers, I am free. What does it feel like to repeat inside of the heart, I am free? I'm going to ask you just to take this moment to pause and to experience that. I sense that this is going to be an extraordinary time with miracles. That people are going to experience miracles in their life. The things that they didn't believe were possible. All of a sudden, they realize the power of God, the power of the universe, the power of love, and its potential to transform when we accept and we allow. This other card here is that love has already won, and that sits very well in this message about when you're in the heart, you have access, you have full access to the entire universe, all of the answers, all of the creative potential. And it's really in that place when we are tapped into the reality, into the visualization, the feeling, the knowing that everything is perfect and we're grateful for it, that everything is as it should be, when we can really let ourselves be immersed in the pleasure and the joy of the beauty and the abundance, the prosperity of the unfolding of the mystery of our life. And we say, thank you for it's already given, rather than asking for what we want, which just says to the universe, I don't have that. When we just say thank you because I know what is happening right now in this moment is bringing me exactly what I need. So aligning yourself with the generosity of your own spirit and the nature of creation, the nature of life and cycles, you can begin to live in the space of miracles. This card says, the ego dies when the body ceases to function. It's an ultimate reveal of how powerless the ego was all along. And the inherent powerlessness of the ego is what makes it so loud and fiercely persistent while we're alive. Practicing kenosis, or self-emptying love, will threaten the ego. The goal is to release any and all attachments that the ego generates. This egoic death is the aim, so that resurrection happens here in this lifetime, in this body, again and again. The skull, the new life of the body, the flames dance, all speak of the way of contemplating death and how it is liberating. The body will die as certainly as the flame will eventually burn out. But when we can anchor into what is lasting from within, what will end, we know directly that love never dies. The physical presence of Christ is missing. He's glaringly absent in this picture. And yet, she is full from within of the love that will always and has already won. What does it feel like to know the presence of love within you? Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. Anything that's standing in the way, anything that you keep feeling yourself knocking up against as you are changing your life, as life is changing how you relate to life. Can you let go and continue to let that build of energy, that build of electromagnetic charge serve you in this process of purification and becoming the luminous warrior. The luminous warrior has no enemies in this life or the next. They are a fully awakened soul. Let's hear from the cards here. I have this sense that many people are going to be making really big life changes over the next few months before the fall, before the winter. And I believe that it may start with this gateway. I think the process has already been underway. There's been decay and creation, right? All at the same time. Ask yourself where you are in your cycle. Are you currently in the season where things are decaying, decomposing, and returning to the earth? Are you at a time where the seeds are starting to sprout, or are you at the point where your seeds are now trees and they're fruiting? Are you at the point where you're in between, where you're in the void, where you're not here and you're not there? What season of life are you in? It's about to shift. It's about to shift through this solstice period. And you may even want to reflect back on what was going on during the winter solstice, as they are polarities to one another. Can you look back at that season of your life? Is there anything that's relevant, any pieces or patterns that maybe you can reflect on and see the way that it unfolded to where it is now? Any way you can give yourself some credit, a pat on the back for the work that you've done since that place. You are heaven and earth in perfect expression, a conduit for the light of the heavens to the earth. You are the rainbow bridge. Take time to meditate. Imagine yourself as a pillar of light connecting the light of the heavens above with the earth. As the light shines through each of your chakras, you activate the rainbow bridge that many ancient scriptures speak about, raising your vibration and the vibration of the planet, linking the higher realms of the cosmos, guides, angels, and spirit with the ancient wisdom keepers and beings of planet Earth. They dance together with you. They sing together with you. Without your body, voice, and creations, neither can be expressed. For too long, we've been taught that God is outside of us, giving away our power to angels and spirit guides. But without you, they do not have a voice. You are the oracle. Do not look for guidance outside, for you hold all the wisdom of the entire universe in the portal of your heart, in every cell of your body. Do not see the angels and guides as above you, for without you, they have no way of communicating. You are the oracle. You are the rainbow bridge. You are the pillar of lights. Breathe that in. Let that settle in. There are codes in this message. Turning on telomeres in your DNA so they can receive the light of the sun that we are in full alignment with during the summer solstice. This Christ light that's pouring onto the planet, waking up, activating the hearts of humanity, raising the frequency of this planet. And there continues to be this message for this time of singing and dancing, of using your outlets for creative expression without judging it, without needing it to be a certain way. I'm thinking about if you were someone who maybe liked doing art when you were a kid and you haven't done that in a long time. Maybe you do still like to do it. But when's the last time you drew something without it needing to look a certain way? Where you just did whatever you wanted to do without an expectation. And doing the same with movements of the body, of the voice. Let yourself be free to express without filtering, without holding back, without worrying. I'm hearing that saying, dance like no one's looking. I feel a congratulations is due to all of you that are receiving this message, because it has taken a lot of work for you to arrive where you are. And I hear the word mercy, that there's mercy on you for the work that you have chosen for yourself, for the planet, for your family, and to not give up, to know that this is a time that you can take a break, you can enjoy. The luminous warrior has no enemies in this world or the next. He is impeccable in word and deed. He focuses on his light rather than on what hides in the dark. Since he casts no shadow, he is as radiant as the sun and can transform his most terrible enemy into his ally. His power comes not from the sword, but from speaking his truth at all costs. The luminous warrior reminds you it is important to focus on your power, wisdom, and beauty. Do not be seduced by what seems wrong with you or with the world. Remember that intention follows attention, so focus on your positive traits. Feed your light with more light until you feel truly empowered. Then there will be little need for action as you resolve all situations from within. The medicine of this card, the reflection to ask yourself is, are you being tempted by your emotions to follow any lower instincts? Have you been invited to enter into a quarrel or a gossip with someone? Put your sword away. This is not the time for battle. Your enemy is not who you think it is. Do not act from a place of anger that will damage your relationships and hurt the ones you care for. Find the truth hiding in your heart that will affirm your instinct for peace rather than for war. Feeling the presence of Holy Mother, of the lineage of the Rose, of the Magdalenes, of Yeshua the Christ, just feeling all of these emissaries of light on our planet, waiting for us to get still enough to receive healing transmissions, miraculous transmissions, actualizations and realizations that you have lived lifetimes to awaken to. They're here. So as we bring this space to a close, I'm just sending all of my gratitude, my love, and giving gratitude and thanks for what is already done, for the beautiful reality that's unfolding in its perfect timing. And if you like this video and you felt like it was helpful, please share, like, so the algorithms will continue to share this with other people. And until we meet again, keep it pure and stay simple. Pura vida.